Mary Kingsbury Simkovich, founder of the Greenwich House in NYC, said, "The aim of the settlement or neighborhood house is to bring about a new kind of community life. It is in the community or neighborhood that people seek and fight for solutions to their concrete, daily, local, and immediate problems. Although the community remains the focus of the settlement's attention, it is through the personalized and direct involvement with the individual in the context of the family, often throughout a lifetime, that the settlement fosters and supports the values of fellowship and mutual support."
In the late 1800s, the United States urban population was dramatically increasing, and city dwellers often faced poor living conditions, low wages, and economic hardships. This was especially difficult for immigrants battling language and cultural barriers. Settlement houses became a response to these growing social problems. The first of these houses was the Neighborhood Guild in New York City's Lower East Side. This was founded in 1886 by Dr. Stanton Coit, who was inspired by those that had developed in London. He acquired a house in a crowded slum and provided direct services that were mostly educational, as well as fought to bring about social reform. Another influential settlement house was the Hull House, founded by Jane Addams in 1889, that was originally meant to assist the European immigrants to Chicago. Jane Addams worked to bring an array of services to both bring the neighborhood together and improve the squalid living conditions that many people dealt with. She succeeded in organizing her community and bettering the lives of thousands of people.
The settlement house movement was set apart from other contemporary movements by a number of core elements and goals, which have been summarized as the 3 R's: residence, research, and reform. Residence was the idea that the wealthy should live and volunteer in poor neighborhoods in order to bring the classes closer together through the spread of education, culture, and moral values. A large part of this was encouraging the assimilation of immigrants into mainstream American culture. Often the people who lived and taught in the settlement houses were women of wealthy or middle-class backgrounds who were denied career opportunities. Charity work was considered an appropriate outlet for their education and aspirations, but women like Jane Addams and Lillian Ward took the movement into the arenas of political and social reform. Settlement houses at the time were involved in campaigns to end child labor, improve poor housing conditions, and address other social issues of the time. They offered food and shelter to the urban poor, as well as educational programs, and were a safe haven for women and children. Most importantly, settlement houses were the forerunners of community organization. A groundbreaking part of this effort towards reform was research. Hull House was notable in this regard for its work mapping the effects of poverty, from the degradation of neighborhoods to the concerns for children's health. The field of sociology was, at the time, a new idea involving the quantitative analysis of society, and the observations and field research taking place in settlement houses were important to its growth. The publications from the Hull House helped to found the first School of Social Work in Chicago.
Now, more than a century later, settlement houses no longer hold the same name, but instead are called community centers and neighborhood houses. While these centers continue to be an important part of the community, the live-in aspect was removed when staff members refused to live there without pay. 5 out of 7 of the most well-known settlement houses today are found in the United States. One of these homes, called the Association House, found in Chicago, is built on the value of neighbor helping neighbor. The different programs include educational and athletic supplements, in addition to their counseling programs. Another one of these homes is the United Neighborhood Houses of New York. This association of settlement homes offers job trainings, early childhood education programs, legal counseling, and opportunities to engage in community service. Although it is not as well known, the Settlement House for Children, found in Austin, represents the beliefs and values that many settlement homes fulfill today. While it began as a nursery for families with working parents under the poverty level, it has expanded into a co-educational home. This particular home offers an on-campus school, a residential treatment center, therapeutic group homes, transitional independent living centers, and foster adoption programs.
The settlement house movement pioneered the field of social work and continues to inspire future agents of change. Jane Addams said, "Action, indeed, is the sole medium of expression for ethics." This core concept of matching our morals, values, and dreams with the actions we take in the world still fuels the passion of all engaged in community action and social change. We draw one of the guiding principles of social work from the settlement house movement, that change must be facilitated on the micro and the macro levels. We understand change must happen within the homes, within the communities, on a micro level. Yet pioneers like Jane Addams remind us to never lose sight of the need to reform the macro level, the systems that impact the individuals and create unjust conditions. By actively engaging on both micro and macro levels, there's no telling what we can do. But it is clear that much of the future change rests on the solid foundations laid by the settlement house movement.